Oh, it's another podcast in which Josh decides to give biased political opinions. Oh, are they informed by enough research? Oh, sort of, kind of, maybe. JoshCast. Okay, so here's what I've learned thus far. The people who are listening to this podcast listen to the opening theme and they enjoy that, and then they stop listening. So we're almost there. We've almost got the format of this podcast complete. We are almost there. We've got them in the first 30 seconds, and then we lose them as soon as I start to talk. That could be the key. Maybe that's the problem with this podcast. There's too much talking. It's too verbal. More singing, perhaps? I don't know. I thought it would be interesting to actually go to the websites of our presumptive nominees. The presumptive Republican nominee and the presumptive Democratic nominee. Presumptive. We're presuming that they are the nominees. Something could happen in between now and the what's the name of the thing where they decide who the nominee is? Convention. There we go. Something could happen. Bernie Sanders could suddenly get all of the superdelegates. Something could suddenly happen. So that's why we have to keep saying presumptive. The presumptive nominee. I think it's presumptive that either of them are running in the first place. But I want to get to the issues. What are the issues that are facing us? What are the issues that they're talking about? So I went to both of the websites. Let's start with Trump. He wants to renegotiate the trade agreement between the U.S. and China. Renegotiate the trade agreement between U.S. and China. And he thinks that will be an easy task, even though my understanding is that China owns trillions of our debt. Trillions. So I feel like that would be kind of like me getting my MasterCard bill and calling MasterCard and going, hey, we need to talk, all right? I'm drawing a line in the sand right here. You think you can do whatever you want, MasterCard. I don't think so. We're going to renegotiate our relationship. At which point, MasterCard would say, well, okay, it's great that you feel that way. Hold on while I transfer you to I don't give a shit department. Hang on. And then they would transfer me and I would be put on hold, and the music that would be playing would be Enya. That's my guess on what they would be doing there. Very difficult to negotiate with someone who has you by the balls, and that is a technical term. His other plan, he wants to repeal Obamacare, get rid of Obamacare right away. So I think suddenly millions of people would not have insurance suddenly. Ironically, I think a lot of those people are the people who like Trump. There you go. Irony, ladies and gentlemen. He wants to repeal Obamacare, and he wants to basically open it up so that insurance companies can sell insurance across state lines. He wants to give insurance companies more freedom. He wants to give Anthem Blue Cross carte blanche. Anthem Blue Cross getting carte blanche feels to me like putting a 5-year-old alone in a 7-Eleven and saying, be responsible. Make good choices. Make good, responsible choices, children. I could be wrong about that. This is the thing. I don't know if that would work or not. I don't know when the last time was that we tried giving the insurance companies total freedom. I want to say that we did at some point, and we stopped, and there was probably a reason why we stopped. I'm not sure. It is, and I think McCain had the idea too back when he was running. This is always the Republican idea. Trust the free market. The free market. It's all about the free market. You got to trust the free market. The free market. Let the market be free, and everything will take care of itself. Let the market be free. let the corporations be free. Let them run free like the children, the naked children in the summers. Why am I talking about naked children in the summers? I don't know. I just envision that, but corporations running free. And I'm sure that won't cause any problems whatsoever. Because when it comes to a corporation, what do they care about? People. That's what they care about. People. You and me. That is what is on their mind. So that's Trump's plan. Oh, by the way, if China, in order to make sure that China plays fair, Trump wants to send, I believe, a fleet over to the South China Seas to protect our trade routes. Wants to send a fleet. That's part of his plan. We're going to send a fleet to the South China Seas. That's on his website. Going to send a fleet. Good. That's an interesting way to negotiate a trade agreement. I guess a war is what we're saying. That's an interesting way of it's very aggressive negotiations. Firing on someone. That is a way to negotiate. It is very clear. You don't use your words as much, but I suppose that is something. I don't know. I just would like to see Donald Trump in a room full of Chinese officials. And I just see him talking and shouting, and the Chinese officials kind of looking at each other going, this is amusing. What are you doing for lunch later? That's what I see happening. I just see them having absolutely no interest in what Trump is doing. Like I just see Trump screaming in a room. And the diplomat, one Chinese diplomat is looking at another Chinese diplomat saying, do you want to... I don't know. What do you want to get for lunch? Do you want to go to Applebee's? And the first Chinese diplomat saying, why on earth would we go to Applebee's? And the other one saying, what do you have against Applebee's? Have you been to Applebee's? You haven't tried it. And the first one is like, that's a good point. You're right. That's a good point. I need to be open-minded. Does Applebee's, do they have a vegetarian option? And the first Chinese diplomat is saying, I'm not a vegetarian. I'm sure they do. I mean, I'm sure everyone does. Get a salad. What's the matter with you? If you want to, get a salad and ask to put the chicken on the side. And the first Chinese diplomat is, all right, well, what time do you want to go to Applebee's? And the second Chinese diplomat is like, well, how about 7? How does 7 work? And the first one is like, I need time to shower. Can we say 7:30? And the first Chinese diplomat is like, I don't like to eat too late because if I eat too late, I have trouble with my digestive process. It's better if I'd rather, 7 is really pushing it. Can we, all right, we'll compromise and say 7:15. And the second Chinese diplomat says 7:15. Okay, 7:15 works. 7:15, Applebee's. And who should drive? The first Chinese diplomat says, well, I'll drive. That's fine. I'll drive. My car's a little messy. I hope you don't mind. Second Chinese diplomat says, oh, it's not as messy as mine. And the first one is like, well, how messy is yours? And the second one is, well, I've got bottles of Perrier just lined up on the ground. It's really disgusting. And this first diplomat says, why did you let that happen? And the second one says, I've been busy. I've been dealing with these trade negotiations. And the first one says, don't use that as an excuse. Okay, that's what you're doing. You're using that as an excuse to not deal with the clutter in your car, which is a metaphor for not dealing with the clutter in your life. Trump, by the way, the entire time has been screaming. Second diplomat, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're calling me out on it. But that's okay. I'll drive. We'll go at 7:15. And the first diplomat says, that sounds like a plan. Ding, 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 ding. Transition. So I went to Hillary Clinton's website. Hillary Clinton wants America to build solar panels. That's her plan. Everyone is going to build solar panels. Whatever you're going to stop what you're doing and build a goddamn solar panel, because that's what we need right now, America. Whatever it is, mid-coitus, you're in the middle of coitus, stop it. Build a solar panel. Get the woman you're with, or the man you're with, or the significant other that you're with to stop. Go get, that battery and some paper and build a solar panel. That is our plan. Build a solar panel. Is there a town out there that used to be a manufacturing town and now they're not anymore? We're going to retrain them. They're going to build solar panels. We're going to be shitting solar panels by the time we're done with our first term if you vote for Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, solar panels. Use the sun, damn it. Solar panels. Hillary Clinton, solar panels. Suck up the sun and deal with it. Hillary Clinton. She wants to expand Obamacare as opposed to repeal Obamacare. She wants to rebuild our entire infrastructure. and base that infrastructure on clean energy. She wants to raise taxes. That's what she wants to do. Raise taxes. That's the plan. I think that's the only way to accomplish any of this. Raise taxes. She wants to raise taxes. I think Donald Trump wants to cut taxes. In other words, Donald Trump just wants to delay raising taxes. That's really the only difference. When do you want to pay taxes? Now or later? That's the only difference in this election from what I can see. Hillary Clinton also big on women's right to choose and health care for women. Awesome. I love it. I agree with it 100%. Yes, absolutely. I'm glad that she is bringing this to the forefront. Yes, very glad. Trump has not mentioned anything about that. Trump is, let's build a wall and let's send an armada to China. Trump is basically playing Battleship. I feel like that's what his platform is. It's the game of Battleship. That's what's happening. B4, Trump. B8, you sunk my battleship. Trump, 2016. Ding, 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 ding. Transition. I think I am getting ready to almost be at a point where I can quite possibly feel that I am primed to begin to consider asking people out on dates. That's where I'm at in my life. I think I'm ready for that. I wish that, it's not even a wish. I don't want to ask people out the way that I feel that I'm supposed to ask people out. I feel the way I'm supposed to ask people out is I strike up a conversation with someone and it's very casual and we're talking about nothing of importance in particular, perhaps a shared passion for something like Star Trek or gluten. And then at some point in that conversation, I casually slip in, hey, would you like to go out to see Star Trek or eat gluten? At which point she will say either, yes, I would like to, or get away from me, stop talking to me about Star Trek, and please stop talking to me about gluten. You have a problem. That's what I foresee. I feel that what I would like to do is just go up to a woman and I want to speak to her in a bad Shakespearean accent. I want to go up to her and say, you are divine. Let us copulate. That is what I want to do. Right there. Just get it out there. Darling, you and I, now on the bed. Let us begin, if you so choose. And then she can say yes or no. And if she says no, then I say, very well. To the Rialto. I don't know where the Rialto is, but that I feel like that would be the next thing. And then I would take my cape and put it over my face and walk out very dramatically. That's what I would like to do. That's how I would like to ask a woman out. Basically, like I was a Klingon on Star Trek. Shall we begin the mating ritual? Da chuka. That's what I want to do. That'd be great. Because I just feel like I can't jump into it. I mean, I suppose I could do, the online stuff, the Tinder. I could do the Tinder. I don't want to do the Tinder, though. I want to meet someone face to face. I want to be in the same room with them. But then, here's my fear. What would we do after that? Let's say the first date goes well, and suddenly we want to start making a relationship. I have to make time for that relationship, and I'm afraid of doing that. I'm genuinely afraid of doing that. Because it means dedicating less time to writing jokes about being lonely. And that's not something I can give away right now. It takes a lot of energy to write the same kind of material over and over again that does not work on stage. And if I have less time doing that, I fear that my productivity might go up and I might be happy. And we cannot have that. We cannot have that. That would destroy everything I'm working for. Everything, Johnson. Everything. I don't know who Johnson is. I just feel like right now in that moment I needed a sidekick named Johnson who was my loyal second in command. I needed a Johnson at this point. I know people have said, hey, you should have someone else on the podcast. Other than you, that's how you should fix this podcast. Have a different person do the podcast. If you still want to call it JoshCast, that's fine. But have a different person doing it, and then you'll be onto something. This is the end of the podcast, the end of the podcast. And the children sing and the children play. This is the end of the podcast. What about Ruby Tuesdays? I thought we agreed on Applebee's. No, let's do Ruby Tuesdays. Can we just do Applebee's? What do you have against Applebee's? Have you been to an Applebee's before? Yeah, I have. Well, and did you hate it? No, I liked it. I can't tell. Well, what is the problem with Applebee's? Why? I want to go to Applebee's, okay? I'm tired of being polite. I want to go to Applebee's. Are you with me or not? All right. There's no need to scream at me the way Trump is screaming at us right now. There's no need to do that. I will go to Applebee's. I'm sorry I brought it up. I will drop it. Okay, thank you. We'll leave at 7:05.